So in part D, we're told that Clio needs to consider both the mean and standard deviation to determine whether the machine is working properly. Suppose 1 month later, Clio is again checking the machine to make sure it's working properly. Clio takes a random sample of 2 necklaces and calculates a sample mean of the gold applied as 303 milligrams and the sample range is 10 milligrams. Recall that the machine works properly if the mean is 300 and standard deviation is 5. We're told, considering Clio's range of 10 milligrams, is it unusual to have a sample range of 10 milligrams? And well, the answer is no. So simply put, that's one standard deviation above and one standard deviation below the mean. That's in theory completely normal. So that should not raise any concerns. So it is unlikely to observe a 10 milligram difference with a 5 milligram standard deviation. However, there's a pretty high chance though. So it has a probability of about 20% of happening. A probability of approximately 20% of happening. So that is pretty significant. That's a pretty big probability. So this should not raise any concerns. It's pretty typical for something like this to happen. And then in part 2, whereas Clio's sample mean of 310 milligram, 303 milligram mean and 10 milligram range indicate that the machine is not working properly. And well, again, no. We've already been asked this in part B1. So in B1, we already said that there's a pretty high chance of getting like plus or minus 3 milligrams for the mean. That would have approximately, that would be approximately normal. So in B1, we said 303 milligram mean is normal, or mean has quite a high chance of happening. We said about there as well, around 20%, or maybe even more. That's quite high chance. And as we said now here in part D1, this 10 milligram range is also not really a not unusual value. So 10 milligram range also not unusual. So at the end of the day, we can conclude that the machine is working properly.